And you know, what I'd usually do is that, I'll wake up in the morning and then somebody somewhere will say, "Oh, by the way, the Oscar nominations came out." And it's always a surprise to me. I never know when they're gonna come out. I don't try to keep track of it. But this morning, the Oscar nominations came out, and you know, I was yeah, I haven't seen a lot of the movies this year, so I didn't really have much of a stake in who was nominated and who wasn't. But Uh, I really thought that, just kind of like from from going down the list, that I thought uh, Andrew Garfield definitely deserved a nomination. I thought he was brilliant in Tick Tick Boom. It was a great performance, and then it was also great to see him show up in No Way Home, and to have him, well, spoiler. Well, it's not really a spoiler anymore because, like, it kind of was like public knowledge that in the new Spider-Man that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire were going to show up. So that's not really a spoiler, but yeah, it was great to see him later in the year show up in that movie, and I kind of like before he was in uh the mainstream films, before he showed up in what's called the Facebook movie. I'm blanking on it. But yeah, before he was doing American movies, I saw his performance in some of the smaller British uh films that he had done, and I was like, wow, this guy's really great. Like, he's really interesting to watch. He's got a very interesting look, and so, like, when he started popping up in more mainstream stuff, I was very glad to see him there. I was glad that he was doing stuff. I didn't see him. I didn't see his Spider-Man movies. I didn't see the Amazing Spider-Man, uh, one or two. But um, now seeing him in No Way Home, and seeing, kind of like hearing about like what his Spider-Man had to go through, I'm like, I'm kind of curious to check it out. Like, I don't really know why I didn't check it out in the first place. I think when his Spider-Man came out, it was it just seemed like it was, I guess, too soon. like why are you rebooting Spider-Man? Like, give Toby another chance. Like, yeah, the third movie wasn't that great. Um, but why are you switching to another Spider-Man? Like, just make another one with Toby. It'll be awesome, and then you can, like, carry on. Excuse me. But that didn't happen until they made two Spider-Mans with him, and then I guess the audience was kind of like lukewarm on it. Some people really loved it, some people were like, it's okay. And then it just it kind of went away until they were able to incorporate Tom Holland's Spider-Man into the MCU, and then they kind of did a soft like a reboot, a soft reboot with him in the Marvel, like the MCU, and kind of giving him his own like offshoot of movies, and then being able to kind of mesh everything back together is actually really exciting. I I can't wait to see like what they're gonna do with like the Spider Verse at this point. So so yeah, Andrew Garfield, I was very like pleased to see that he got a nomination. Of course, I hear that a lot of people are expecting that Will Smith is going to win because he did such a phenomenal job. And not to say, like, Will Smith he's a really great actor when he wants to be, and he's turned in some really interesting, nuanced performances, and he knows how to act. He also knows how to do the other side too, of being just being himself, and just you know in like all the action movies that he was doing through like the 90s and the early 2000s. So I don't know. We'll just have to see. I think the Oscars are slated for the end of March, and so we have a little bit of time to kind of speculate. But for now, it's we have these nominations, and um, it gives me plenty of time to catch up. There was a lot of stuff that I didn't get to see, and now that it's on streaming, I have more of a reason to kind of like watch a lot of these things. Excuse me. It's a bit dusty here in the room. I should probably do some spring cleaning pretty soon. But yeah, it's so I don't know if anybody really cares about the Oscars at all. I like year after year, it seems like the show itself, kind of does it. It just ends up being this like overly uh congratulatory kind of show, which I mean, in a way, it's supposed to be. It's people in the industry who are patting each other on the back, and that's great. That's great to have like industry wide, um, awards that you can give out to other people, to people who are doing really great work. But I think where it kind of gets really like where I guess where it kind of like grinds on people's nerves is that because it's televised, it allows for people to kind of like for actors and directors and writers to kind of like just use that time to like talk about an issue that they're concerned about. And like it's not that they shouldn't be concerned about these issues, like they are important, but it's also like you're also trying to bring people in to want to watch what you're making. And sometimes just making it political just kind of just it turns people off. They're the people who are at home who are watching are there to have a good time. If they really care about the movies that were nominated, and the actors and just all the like different departments. Like we used to have parties where you would chat, you would try to pick who was gonna win, and it was a fun time. And every single time you know it switched to something political, all that fun just kind of went out the window, and it was like, well, why why are you like you have social media, like put put all your political stuff on there. Allow the show to be fun, allow it to be this big party celebrating that the industry has survived another year. It's kind of like a birthday party for the industry in a way. It's like we're all celebrating, we're all looking at what was great that year. And it should never be bogged down with like all this extra nonsense that people kind of bring into it. But I think there was a before social media was a really big um had a big stranglehold, I guess you could say, on society. The only way that an actor could, or I keep saying actor because it seems like actors are a big part of who actually speak out about stuff. But it could be writers, it could be directors, you know it could be either one. But they it used to be that that was the only way that you would be able to um you know I guess get your message out, or to speak about something you really cared about, and that was like a big platform to do it on. But yeah, but now they don't really have to do that anymore. Like there are plenty of other ways in which the you can get your message out. So guys, I think I'm gonna make this a very very short stream. Yeah, my like I'm really feeling it, like cough coming on, and so But yeah, I just kind of wanted to come on here and just talk about the fact that like yeah, the Oscar nominations were out today, and we're getting towards the end of the award season, which was really weird because it doesn't really feel like the award season actually started because we didn't have a Golden Globes, and they're still trying to be extremely safe when it comes to the world that we're in, and they especially in Hollywood and on productions, like they're putting so much money into making sure that the sets are really safe, that they have this bubble system where they have like the like bubble A, which is where the director and the actors are, and the camera, all the essential crew and cast are there, and that's where the main bulk of the work is happening. That's where the show, that's where the film is being made, and so that's extremely safe. Like everybody has a mask on, actors have masks on until the uh, assistant director tells them to take their mask off, and then they do their scene, and then they put their mask on. It's like it's very controlled. Everybody is checked out, and then there's bubble outside of that, which is kind of like the PAs and the um like the other department heads who um may be called in to be on set, um like in between setups, like in between um you, if they need to break down a setup and put up another one, like they're kind of like on the outside. And then there's the bubble outside of that, which is like the outside world where you also have PAs there who are kind of like making sure that that only the people who are supposed to be there on the set are there, and kind of a just yeah, just like making sure that the bubble inside is like no one's gonna disrupted at all. And yeah, obviously like security and stuff like that. So like that's everything that's on the outside, and that requires a lot of money. That requires a lot more time, because they have to um they have to test everybody probably every day. I don't know what the requirement is now, but I'm sure it's a daily test, or at least like if the set is running for the entire week, maybe like every 2 days or something like that. And then everybody's masked up. Everybody has to stay like within their bubble. So it requires more people, making sure that that happens. And then more money for all the like the equipment, and the health scanning and all that kind of stuff. So it's just it's more money that they have to put onto a production. Um, Plus you have a a COVID compliance officer there as well, and it's just there's just so much more that is added on to like a production, both in money and time. So they're extremely safe, and so I can understand why uh they didn't have uh they didn't have the Golden Globes, and then I don't know what they're gonna do for the Oscars. I know last year they they did have a small like dining room with a stage, and they they had live presenters, and they had people in the audience and stuff like that. So who knows? There could be a full auditorium this time. Who knows? Because like I remember watching the Tonys, and it seemed like it was almost normal, because of the fact that the entire, it seemed like the audience was filled up. The only distinction was that people were wearing masks, and it was a very like cool thing to see, because it's like, wow, we're coming back. Like Broadway is coming back. The theater is coming back. And then it was also quite weird because people were still wearing masks, and we were still in the middle of a surge, and it was like, well, is this really a good idea? Like, I don't know. I don't know how many people walked away from that event and caught something or didn't. Who knows? I mean, I can only assume that uh, they were doing the same kind of precautions that they would do in Hollywood, um, because of you know because it's a major a requirement right now. So I don't know. We will have to see. But that also like played into like the movies that we were getting this year, with the exception of a couple movies that were shot before the this whole thing went down. So yeah, we'll just have to see. All right, guys. Yeah, my throat's really scratchy and dry, and I think I'm just gonna make this one a short one for now. But yeah, let's talk more about the Oscars when when the Oscars actually happen. So we got a way to go. So yeah, check me out on social media. On Twitter, I'm at title_Tim. You can find the page on Facebook as well, tentative title with Tim podcast. I also have it an email, and if you're watching this on YouTube, it should be in the notes. But if not, it's uh, title dot Tim dot with or hang on, it's tentative dot title dot with dot Tim at gmail.com. That's where you can send your questions and your emails to me if if you want to talk about certain movies that are out or certain issues. We can talk about that there. Um, but yeah, for today, I think I'm gonna call it. Uh, who knows? Maybe later tonight when I'll like hop back on. But for now, I should probably just let my voice rest. So. All right, guys. Thank you for being here. Sorry for the short stream, but yeah, I will see you on the next one.